Hi, this is Dave. Today we will discuss forgiving others. First, why is it so important to our own well-being that we forgive? As we go through life, people will hurt us. We then need to make a choice: hold a grudge or forgive. There are good reasons, just from a mental health standpoint, to forgive. Holding grudges does nothing to the person against whom we hold the grudge. It does hurt us. It has been said that holding a grudge is like drinking poison and hoping someone else gets sick. You can never truly be happy while you hold a grudge. More importantly, God commands in the Bible that we must forgive each other. It starts already in the Old Testament. As part of the Jewish law, God commands in Leviticus 19 verse 18, "Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone. Love your neighbor as yourself." The New Testament has an abundance of commands to forgive each other. Ephesians 4 verses 31 through 32 says, "Put on then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another, and, if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other, as the Lord has forgiven you. So you also must forgive." Colossians 3 verse 13 says, "Bear with your faults, forgive any complaints against others, just as Christ forgave you." Mark 11 verse 25 says, "Whenever you stand praying, forgive, if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also, who is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses." And Matthew 18 verses 21 through 22 says, "Then Peter came up and said to him, 'Lord, how often will my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?' Jesus said to him, 'I do not say to you 7 times, but 77 times. And if there is ever any doubt about how seriously God takes this, consider what Jesus said when he was teaching about prayer in Matthew 6 verses 14 through 16. He said, "For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses." So, are you really so eager to hold on to your grudges that you are willing to give up your own salvation in exchange for holding on to your grudges? Jesus himself set the ultimate example. He was being crucified. Roman soldiers were in the process of torturing him to death. They were not going to stop. They were not going to apologize. They were going to continue to torture him to death. And here's the attitude Jesus demonstrated to those who were in the process of torturing him to death. Luke 23 verse 34 says, "And when they came to the place that is called the Skull, there they crucified him, and the criminals, one on his right and one on his left. And Jesus said, 'Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.'" Here is how I am able to forgive. I went through this process in 1998. That's when I was hurt emotionally, more than I ever had been before, and more than I ever have been since. I knew that there would be no apologies. Those who caused the emotional pain felt that they had done the right thing, and they were unwilling to discuss it. I knew that I still needed to forgive, but I did not know how. I asked one of my Christian coworkers about it, and he said I needed to give it to God. I was not sure what that meant. I finally came to this conclusion. I felt like I had been wronged, and the wrong needed to be righted. I felt like there was a debt that needed to be paid. I felt a need to make that happen. I thought I would feel this pain until I get the wrong righted and the debt paid. Then I realized that when Jesus paid for my sins on the cross, he also paid for all of those wrongs and all of the debt. I did not need to take responsibility for getting the wrong righted. Jesus would take responsibility for that. I did not need to take responsibility for getting the debt paid. Jesus paid the debt. I did not need to feel the pain. Jesus felt all of the pain that needed to be felt. So, those who hurt me no longer owed me anything. Jesus took care of that. I could be free from the need to get the wrongs that were done to me righted. I could be free from the pain. I could think about those who had hurt me and feel only love. It was an incredibly freeing feeling. Coming to these conclusions and applying them and truly believing them was not easy. It's easy to say we forgive, but not really mean it. It takes some effort, some work, some discipline to really give it all to God and to really forgive and to really mean it. It's worth the effort because it is a really freeing feeling. To be able to genuinely love someone who has hurt you is a wonderful feeling, and the person who benefits the most from it is you. This may or may not make sense to you. You may need to revisit it multiple times to have it make sense. It's what makes sense to me, and it has been life-changing for me. I hope and pray that it is for you too. That's today's video. Watch for the next one.